So they will work from position.
2 against Trust to win. Lofa County have started it again.
Let's see whether they can.
Titi Was has advanced to the second base. A trouble for Nimba. They need to keep an eye on Titi Was. 2 out already. Let's see whether they can call it off from there. A great strike, but she has been called back by Imperial Wai. The Princess Quality.
A win for Lofa is a motivational boost for the boys.
And already Lofa defeated Nimba County in the 3rd place final of the basketball edition. And they are here in the kickball grand final. And waiting the football grand final as well. What a triple finals to play.
So are you anticipating a triple victory?
I can say that, but Lofa are ahead in the kickball grand final.
And they've already won the 3rd place in the basketball. Still a long way to go. The SKD is already colored yellow, green, white, red, blue, and etc. etc.
Great start from Maki Gibson. She advancing to the second. In trouble. Maki, can she set herself safe? Yes. It's out. How can that be? Line George Biagio Yanti says Maki Gibson is out. Wow, what a call. Here we have similar situation like this when the table judge overruled the decision of the land judge.
Yes, and our argument was that the referee, the umpire, should have made the final decision. In this case, it is once again the umpire who makes the final decision. And let's see, because there's some bit of argument out there from the folks from Nimba County. But again, it's a tight game. We've always said it will be tight. And let's see how things unfold here.
Yeah, let's see. But that was the decision. And let's have a playback of that again.
He has now, he has so far prompted some mixed feelings and discussion now. And this is all part of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow.
Well,
and that's the decision from the
yeah.
But I think
it was a save. Yeah. So we continue from here. Nimba County still trailing to Lofa County. I'm seeing the coach of Nimba agitating there. That's Darius Ajivo.
He will be red carded. Oh, see the indiscipline from even the player holding the card from the referee hand. That is very bad. Nimba again is starting on this note. And that is very bad. We have to say it for the records.
Yes, red card given to Darius Ajivo. He's the head coach of Nimba County.
You are the leader of the team. You have to exhibit that good behavior so that your players can also follow suit. It wasn't good for the captain of Nimba, who prevented the car from being awarded to her coach. That was very poor and isn't a good sportsmanship. It has already happened. That's a decision from the umpire. But you just cannot behave in that manner and form as a player, especially if you have a future to protect.
Yeah, Lofa County are up here against Nimba County in the grand final of the 2022-2023 National County Sports Meet.
Theo, what's your take?
It's too close to call for me. I think she was really on base. I would say she was safe from the look at it because she's sprinting. You can see from the replay. She's already leaped on that base. The ball is coming at the same time. But again, the referee has the final decision. So let's move on. The referee has decided it's game on.
Yeah, it's game on. But Nimba County still protesting there.
at this particular stage, I can't imagine if she was going home.
Exactly. How could that be?
We have to respect the decision from the umpire. We have to always respect the decisions from those who are leading the game. Lofa County won Grand Finals, National County Sports Meet, kickball version, Nimba County 0. We've just entering into the second innings. We've still got a very long way to go.
Intel Sports, Liberia's biggest and professional sports television station, is now located at GSA and Rehab Drive in Painesville. Intel Sports is 100% Liberian owned. It is an exclusive sports platform that provides extensive and quality local content sports programs across the country. Follow us on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, or better still, on our app on Google or Play Store. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's exclusive and best sports television station. Midweek Sports provides you with the opportunity to interact directly with the stakeholders in the sector, the players, fans, including technicians. It comes your way once a week, every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. with a repeat on Thursday at 2 p.m. Midweek Sports highlights major happenings and trending news, as well as captivating action and stories, all in the sector. Premier Sports Television Station, we are coming to you live and direct from GSA and Rehab Drive, respectively, here in Painesville City. This is the debut edition of the program Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports. In this presentation, we will be focusing on kickball, talking about Liberia's traditional sports. We'll be looking at the infrastructure, we'll be looking at performance, players, welfare, rules of the game, and a lot more. So we call upon all of you, inviting you to be a part of this all-important presentation and moving to our rebranded studio as part of our new broadcast season. The president of the Liberia Kickball Federation is our guest, and he will be making his debut on this rebranded presentation of the program Midweek Sports on Intel. But we're taking this break. When we come back, we run straight into our discussions. Intel Sports, Liberia's premier and exclusive sports television station. Intel Sports, we offer professional sports coverages to include live coverage, sports analysis and commentaries, documentaries, features, pre and post productions, highlights of all disciplines, and many more. For business purposes, you
can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports, we remain.
Many thanks for rejoining us on the maiden edition of the Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports. Before moving to our guests, we like to highlight some few issues trending and making news in the public glare. If you maybe record, the senior national team of Liberia, talking about the women's national team, arrived on yesterday after a brilliant performance in the WAFU tournament there in Mauritania. They touched down on yesterday with a silverware, winning the third place. And this is the second time Liberia's winning team has done so, and hoping that they can even do better. And there have been some discussions around the manner and form in which Liberia got eliminated from that all-important competition, and Liberia has officially filed a complaint, especially against the Gambian referee who Liberia tracked for making some controversial decisions against Liberia. That penalty resulted to Liberia leaving the competition, not moving to the grand finals. But they showed a supremacy in third place and defeated Mali and won the third place. 4 Liberian players came home with extraordinary performance, and they came home with various medals and trophies for that respect. On yesterday, we also got a breaking news in the sporting sector. When talking about Cooper signing for the Martiniers boys of B Mountain, so he will now be on the touchline for B Mountain, saying goodbye to Watanga. Talking about goodbye, Philibert Brown of the Liberia National Olympic Committee also said goodbye as well to the LNOC after several years of serving the Liberia National Olympic Committee. We thought to bring you a few of these, and this is what we will be doing on the Midweek Sports, highlighting some trending issues in the world of sports. As I told you, the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation is our guest in studio, Ambassador Emmanuel Surprise. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's good being here, more especially your beautiful station. I think it's good being here. I see the studio very brilliant, up to standard. So it's good being here.
Thank you for the compliments. I want to jokingly say it's the first time I've seen you in a yellow t-shirt instead of red doing your barrel. Just a kidding from aspect of it.
Yeah, by breath, I'm a fan of Mario Barrow.
Yeah, sure, that breath. I know that for a fast food. I just want to kid. So, Mr. President, we still have like 5 months preparatory stage, 5 months to the biggest sporting festivity we talk about in Liberia, the National County Sports Meet. We've already started seeing and hearing counties signing respective players. Players are also moving from one end to the other, including coaches as well. And I know you will also be in a very strong stance when it comes to the Kickball Federation, because both of your players do leave the league and move to county duties. But how is it so far?
Thank you. You know, the National County Sports Meet is the biggest sporting festival in the country, and Kickball got involved since 2006 under the leadership of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And since then, Kickball has been there regularly. You find our national league running from March to August, because we want to give chance to the players preparing, that of the technicians preparing for the National County Sports Meet. At that level, you know, there are 3 major objectives of the National County Sports Meet: to identify youthful talents, to promote peace and reconciliation, and short-term employment. So most of our players today, they are proud of that short-term employment. Some of them are owners of homes. Some of them are owners of businesses. So yes, we pay respect to the National County Sports Meet. So we always leave the space in our timetable so that our players can have ample time to prepare and be part and parcel. All of the key players you see are from the National League.
Sure. So preparations are already on the way. Do the players, do you have an agreement also that or is there a plan in place that the federation will be able to benefit, because all the clubs will be able to benefit from their players because they are using them, and they too are also paying the players?
Yeah, the first thing, we've been having problem as a federation with the delay in payment of some of the athletes, because the athletes use what they earn in December, some of them, to pay their regular rent and to settle school related issues. So we first have a problem, and we've been having that problem with some of the counties not paying our athletes on time. And we recommended the Ministry of Youth and Sports, which we did together, because every time we try advocating, we will understand that there have been no legal contract. So the last edition of the National County Sports Meet, it was mandatory through the Ministry of Youth and Sports that the contract signed between the player and that of the county should be attached to the form while we're doing verification. So without the players and that of us, the federation, don't have legal claim on whatever the agreements are. Going forward, on the issue of our player payment, we encourage people to do that. And yes, we are in discussion with the organizer of the National County Sports Meet, because the players you see in the county meet are prepared by the clubs. They own as well. And then they will go to the National County Sports Meet, perform for the county, come back with no injury. And then those injuries undermine the progress of the club. The club will take full responsibility to make sure they work on those injuries. So we are into discussion with the organizer. At least each of those players that will come from the club will have a benefit, no matter how little it can be, so that at the end of the National County Sports Meet, a club could say, look, I raised 500, I raised 1,000, depending on the number of players are sent to the National County Sports Meet. So when that begins to happen, it means all of the clubs will look for the best player, they'll put more into the player, and the counties will start to promote and respect the clubs as well.
Over the period, have you seen some new faces, new talents coming up from your league into the county meet, or is just a rotation of the old and informed players? No,
every year we find new talents. And thanks to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, when we recommended the youth player of the National County Sports Meet, that has brought to light most of our youthful players. Like the kid that won the last edition, her popular name is Tampon. She plays for Ecclesia this year in the National League. The kid is around 15, 16 years old. Even to benefit from what they gave her, we have to go to the bank here and there, and later we have to avoid get rid of the check and pay her in cash. She's a brilliant kid. That kid plays anywhere on the field. So every county meet, there are new players introduced and performing increase. Like the player who won the Best Patriot Award. She's played for Destiny, and she's one of the performing players we have now. In the last 2 years, she's been doing excellently well. In fact, for her club, she's one of those kids. Yeah, Sano. At her club, she's one of the best performing players, even in the National League as well. So every year we introduce new players, new talents. And yes, it's good to see them regularly. Grand Bassa County stole the highest home runner and MVP in the tournament, and she came eventually, and she won it with Grand Bassa. I'm talking about Cecilia Akwe. Yeah, Akwe. I think Akwe, the last edition before the just ended edition, she won double. She was the MVP and highest home runner. And she's one of the best players in the National League right now. In fact, where she came from to win the highest home runner in the National County Sports League, only a good player can do that. I think she was like three or two home runs behind the front runner. She had to redeem those home runs and pass in the final. So yeah, she's one of the good players we can boast of in kickball. This is Midweek Sports. You're watching on Intel Sports, and our guest is the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation. We're discussing today exclusively kickball from all angles. Mr. President, you've been having the National League been going on over and again. But before going to that, are there plans from your end to scout players or to organize the league in the grassroots level? Do you have leagues or such? Yeah. When we took over, let me take you back a little. When we took over, we met the federation with 10 12 teams in the first league, and we have introduced, because I left the post of Deputy Secretary General for the presidency, we have introduced the second division with what we call League 2, and we have 7 clubs. So when we took over as president, what we did, besides the subcommittees, we got 10 subcommittees outside Montserrat, and we introduced the first division. We got the first division already. We introduced the second division. We have the third division running, and that is the grassroots. So with the third division, we got the Pinsway Sub, and they run on the third division, and that of the grassroots. We have the Ghana Sub. Ghana runs third league, and that of grassroots. So the rest of the other subcommittees, they run both third division and second division. So yes, the issue of the grassroots, that's the foundation, and we are paying more attention thanks to the director, Kuli. Kuli is doing well. Duo Kuli. Kuli is the director for the third division and that of the grassroots kickball. And the number of youthful players, they keep increasing. And I will encourage you or anyone who following kickball to win some of the league entirely. You'll find kids.
Some in Pinsville.
Yeah, and some in Ghanaville, yeah.
What's about
Bushra Island. We got the Bushra Island subcommittee. They run third league and that of second league. So yes, we got grassroots running. And we even introduced what we call the old timers. They had their first league season completed. We're working with the leadership so that the next league season can start. So we try to touch everywhere, because when we crying for this sport to leave Liberia and become maybe a regional sport or an international sport, it means we want to reach all levels so that tomorrow people will believe what we're saying is true, and all of us can feel proud as Liberians.
So do we have promotions in that regard?
Yeah, we got promotion. Every season we relegate from the first league to the second league, and we promote from the second league to the first league. We relegate from the second league to the third league, and we promote from the third league to the second league. And one of the things that have been successful in recent years is a first division team called Elite. Before they were Soma Girls, they came from the Ghana sub third division. They succeeded. They got to the second division just last season, and last season they finished second in the second division league. That gave them an opportunity to the first league. So now they play in the first league, and they're one of those teams that are performing in the first league. So yes, we promote and we relegate.
So do you see some new faces coming on board, or it's just the same people going back and coming back?
No, we got most of the players coming are young people.
I'm talking about the teams,
in
terms of relegation and promotions.
No, they are different teams at different times. Like one time we were Blackton faced relegation. They went to second division. They won the second division. They came back to first division. So yeah, it's changed from one club to another.
This is Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports, and our guest is the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation. We'll take this break. We'll be right back.
Intel Sports, Liberia's premier and exclusive sports and television station. Intel Sports, we offer professional sports coverages to include live coverage, sports analysis and commentaries, documentaries, features, pre and post productions, highlights of all disciplines, and many more. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's premier and exclusive sports television. Intel Sports, Liberia's premier and exclusive sports and television station. Intel Sports, we offer professional sports coverages to include live coverage, sports analysis and commentaries, documentaries, features, pre and post production.
Where you are watching Midweek Sports on Intel Sports, Liberia's premier sports television station, and we're coming to you live and direct from GSA and Rehab Draft, respectively, in Pinsville. And our guest in studio is the president of the LKF. the strong and tough talking ambassador Emmanuel Sopraswe. Mr. President, I'd like to say welcome back once more.
Yeah, thank you.
As we continue our discussion, currently we understand that the knockout stage of the competition is ongoing. Just tell us more about how is it thus far.
Yeah, this year the knockout is playing in honor of Lottery.
Why Lottery?
Lottery is our prime sponsor for this year edition of the National League, both first division and second division. So we named the knockout in honor of Lottery, called the Lottery Cup.
Why are they providing?
They are, this is a big yes. So Lottery is our prime sponsor this year. So they took charge of the entire payment of referees, the awards, the cash awards, and they just took over everything. I think you heard it. Yeah. So they are our prime sponsor, and the National League is also playing in our honor. Yeah, the Lottery Kickball Cup.
So do you have plans to maintain your sponsorship? Because I can recall the last time, 1 or 2 seasons ago, there was Sega, and now it's Lottery. Are you seeing how best they can be maintained, or you be doing a rotations?
Yeah, Lottery is Liberia's best government entity. They have been doing very well for kickball, for the fact that they have the biggest sponsorship ever in medium. So this is a trial case.
Okay.
And that is why we spoke to the stakeholders, because at the trial case, the clubs are not benefiting directly, but our awards have increased. When I took over, I met the award at 18,000 Liberian dollars. So the last edition was 100,000. Now with the sponsorship of the Lottery, the winner of the National League is at 150,000. The second division is at 100,000. The knockout is at 75,000. So we increase everything like 40%. So yes, in fact, Lottery is going beyond just a sponsorship.
What other things they are doing?
Yeah, we are working with Lottery to have the first set of exhibition matches of kickball in Sevelum. We have gotten in touch with the sport ministry there, because we want to take kickball from Liberia. We want to make kickball a professional sport. We want to make kickball an international game. We want to see young Liberians becoming professional kickball players. We want to see young Liberians becoming professional coaches of kickball. Yeah, so we're trying to work with the Mano River countries, thanks to Lottery. They have been very innovative and creative in whatever we've been doing. So we are in communication. Hopefully, when everything goes well, we will be in Sevelum for the assessment by the 12th of this month, and hoping that in August we will have the exhibition of kickball in Sevelum.
Oh, that's a good news. So you'll be taking some technicians and experts from here to Sierra Leone?
Yeah, this is the plan. When we do the assessment, because we want to meet the stakeholders of sports in Sevelum, we want to meet the stakeholders of education in Sevelum, because kickball has a foundation in schools. So we want the students, encourage them to come and witness the exhibition tournament, where we'll be taking 6 teams to Sevelum. When they witness the exhibition tournament and they like the game, they will admire the game, then we leave back technicians that were assigned to schools. Maybe one technician assigned to 3 schools to teach them what the game is and help them train their own local coaches. Then we have somebody who will be training the referees there as well. So in the next edition of their school games, they can introduce kickball in the school games. And once we're successful in having it being played in the school games, we can transition the school teams from school teams to club teams. So gradually, when we succeed in Sevelum, then we move to Guinea. Because we want to have the Mano River Union countries being involved with kickball. So we're going to work with them, even the leadership of the Mano River Kickball Union. We're going to work with.
You were established, that yeah, has not been established.
Yeah, okay. We're going to work. In fact, we started the conversation already. So when we meet the stakeholders in sport in Sevelum, those are some of the things we're going to discuss with them, because we want to have that union, so that other folks can promote kickball and encourage ECOWAS to accept kickball as a sport. When that is done, then we go to the Pan-African Parliament, and going forward, we can go to Europe. So it's just a matter of time and support, and we are grateful to the National Lottery for standing with us, and we encourage individuals and other government entities to support Liberia on the game. This game is helping to get our ladies getting involved with bad things, keeping them together and motivating them, keeping that ambition that tomorrow they can be professional players too.
So you have an umbrella body responsible for your sector, that's the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Are you also working along with them to push you further? Because I think it makes it easier to be able to reach the other countries.
Yeah, we had a conversation with the Deputy Minister for Sports, Mr. Andy Kwame. You know, he's one person who regularly accessible. We have a conversation, and he's willing to do the communication on our way to Sierra Leone, introducing the team in totality and giving some different reasons why the team will have to work with us openly. Yeah, we have that full support. So yes, we're working with our own ministry because that's the first thing we have. If we have to work with government, the government and responsible for sport in Liberia is the Ministry of Youth and Sport, and we have been having a cool working relationship with the past leadership and the current leadership. So yes, we are in fact on the exhibition tour. We intend to have one person from the Ministry of Youth and Sports to be with us. We want to do it right and do it legally.
That's a good one, Emmanuel Surprise. That's a good development. We will be following as well, and because this is our duty from our end to promote the sector. So we'll be following closely, and we will be available to provide all of the necessary.
So if I break the news, we might sign.
We're talking about that. We're talking about that, but that's a good one. So how are stakeholders back home, especially in the kickball sector, seeing this particular ongoing quote-unquote discussions?
No, it's supported by the stakeholders, and you will not believe. One of our club's officials said we should not name him. He has contributed a jeep that we will use for the trip. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, they are supportive, very supportive in fact. So on the trip, in fact, we carry one of the club's president and one of the club's secretary. So we'll have a secretary and the president from the club with different, because the team will be represented by sectors. Yeah, even the players will be represented, so that it will not appear like a gossip or a joke. So somebody who is part of your sector will tell you exactly why it is. So yeah, it's an open thing, and we believe in speaking what the fact is, because you can't misinform people, but especially as a leader that people trust and believe in, and people watch out to see and what you say coming to reality. So yes, while it is true that we want to have success, we want to have success together.
So now that you are taking on this original, very big, I can say, ambitious plan, back home, I think you've got a lot of work to do, starting with more training of coaches and that of referees. How is capacity building from your own perspective like?
Yeah, we work with all of them, and in fact, the coaches just agreed to go to election to change their leadership, and we have passed that level. I think the shortlisted candidates were published, and we want to work with that leadership in everything we do. We have the referees leadership, and the clubs have a leadership, the club officials have a leadership, which we have been working with. So yes, back home, we work with everybody, and we're going to do that together continuously, because when we succeed outside, it means we will have a good foundation home. So we are open. In fact, more often, my lines are open. In fact, I get on the field, I talk to anybody who wants to come to development of kickball. So yes, we know there are still challenges at home, but you can't allow those challenges to hold you back. No, you can't do that. Once you decide to lead, you must understand that things will not just be fine every time. You need to step out and make people understand that your challenges will not lead to your failures.
Of course.
Yeah, so we keep pushing. And the guys are open, they know everything happening. We don't work in secret, we open up so that tomorrow, because in administration, communication is a problem. Once you are not communicating, speculation comes in. Then you start having misunderstanding, and you don't allow people to have misunderstanding before you inform them. So yes, we're working with all the stakeholders back home. We have those challenges. We've been managing with those challenges. We will keep managing while we fight for the international standard.
Yes, that's a good one. People watching would like to know that. I want to take you back into the knockout competition. How is it so far now?
Yeah, we started with the round of 38. We're now playing the round of 19. And in the round of 19, we kick off today with 5 games. And then tomorrow we'll play 4 games. Then we complete the round of 19. We move to the next level. I think that would be the round of 10. So yes, it's on course. And the second division teams are performing well. They got some of the first division teams off the tournament. And you know, they got a record of reaching final in the last 2 editions. Yeah, so it's good. And today and tomorrow will be a busy day for the Lottery Cup.
Talking about fans trooping onto the pitch of various venues, how has it been like? Are people really supporting?
Yeah, the fans come out, they show out. They are always in attendance. But you know, the disappointing part is we don't really raise money for their turnout because we don't have a place enclosed. We don't have a fee. We don't have the number of seating capacity. Thanks to the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the few pocket seats they gave us. You know, we got it on the fee there. It's not sufficient. But
sorry, do people pay to sit on them?
Yeah, to help clean the fee.
Okay.
A little of $50. We sit on the fee. Once you play 7, 8 games, in fact, the 50 is for the day. So yes, we are the pay because those fundings help us to maintain the fee.
Okay, and before we come to some other issues about infrastructure, we'd like to take this break. But if you're just coming our way, you're watching Midweek Sports on Intel Sports, and our guest is the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation. We'll take this break to be right back.
Intel Sports, Liberia's premier and exclusive sports and television station. Intel Sports, we offer professional sports coverages to include live coverage, sports analysis and commentaries, documentaries, features, pre and post productions, highlights of all disciplines, and many more. For business purposes, you can contact us on these numbers. Intel Sports will remain Liberia's premier and exclusive.
Thanks for rejoining us, and if you're just coming our way, you're watching Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports. Our guest is the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation, Emmanuel Sopras. Mr. Weir, you've been speaking over and again on this issue of infrastructure. We've seen it because we've covered the games, and we see and feel the pinch of the players. But I want to, Teresa, to take you back. I can remember 2 seasons ago, the senator of Montserrat County, Sir Joseph, promised the Federation of providing a facility for the girls to leave them, and you were so happy about that, from dust
to tough.
to tough. I can still remember. How far are we with that particular project?
Thank you. You know, sometimes we call spade a spade, and we make people understand what the realities are. While it's true that we welcome the working relationship with everybody else, we also have the obligation and responsibility to inform our audience and followers. During the last regime of former President George Weah, I can remember on 2 occasions he stopped at where we play. I hope you got the picture of that place, which is very bad for ladies. When it is raining, it's muddy up. When it is dry, it's all dusted up. So we think that it's unsafe for females to be playing there. You know, the regular sliding game. So when the former president was on his way to the gym to practice, he stopped and spoke with the players present. And he called the then Minister of Sports, D. Zioka Wilson, Honorable, and then he informed me that, in fact, he asked him first, what is going on here? Every time I pass, I see people say, oh, here is where the Kickball League is played. So he encouraged him to work with us so that we can change the look of that place. In a few minutes after the president left, and the president then gave a lunch to all of the teams that were present, the minister called me because I was not present and explained all what I explained to you. And he said we're going to work together to make sure that worked, which was good for us. And we started working around it. For a certain time, we break in the working relationship, and we could not see any effort. And we were not going. Later on, we got to know that we needed to go and inspect the keyboard. There was a keyboard page at the PHP. So we needed to go inform to see whether that could be the place we play our National League. Who took us there was the Senator, Sir Joseph. We went there with his thinking that we needed to, graduate from the dust to tough. So we went there. We carried the technical team to do the inspection. When we got there, we were disappointed.
Why? What did you see? Did you see turf?
The first thing is the size of the place.
Okay.
Even the kids who play in grass, we keep working play there. Very small. So we told the senator we appreciated his effort and everything, and asked him to work with the president because we know we're getting very close to election time, so that where we play regularly could be upgraded, so that could be the home of kickball, Liberia traditional game. So we told them we can use that place. Go there today and see how the place looks. It's not a place to play in National League. Very short and small. So that is how we end the story. But even with that, we have not been discouraged. We still talking. Even the current president, we spoke with somebody in his office who want to keep the name private. We are now working with our partner to help us do the blueprint of that place, how we want to see it. So because we don't have money, some of the things we want to do, we drag on because we beg people to do them. So yes, as soon as we get the blueprint out, we're going to share with the new minister, because we asked him to give us the legal right to develop the place, and he too told us that we need to show him the blueprint of what we want to do there before he can give us the go ahead. So we are working with the partner patiently to give us the blueprint so we can share with the minister and that of the office of the president, so that we can have just one page, official page of Liberia traditional game.
For a start.
Yeah, because we can't be going to other countries encouraging them that this game is our traditional game. And somebody said, let's walk on the field, let's see the official field, the facility. How does the line look? And then we can have a place to show them. We just show picture and we draw on sheet. It shows some delinquency, but we think all of us want to work on it as a country so that we can feel proud tomorrow that this sport that started in Liberia since 1964 is now an international sport. All of us, you see, we celebrating our seat at the UN. Yeah, the UN, right? At the security level. So we could celebrate. One day, you see kickball at the Olympic, we'll celebrate because it will give us dividends. It brings financial benefit to the country. So let's have a single page to say this is the official home of kickball, Liberia traditional game. So we stay working around.
Do you see the difference? I hope we can get the game on the screen. Do you see the difference? I want you, as a president, also a technician of the game, to just tell or drill us through. From the dust to the turf, on especially the counter meet.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you can hear the players say, talking about the National League and the counter meet in terms of performance and how they play?
Comparing both of them, right?
Yeah.
The first thing here, the players are more safe. Injury rates will be less here. And in fact, the pitchers will have ample time to pitch and allow the ball to roll directly. There is no much embarrassment when the ball leaves the hand of the pitcher. You see that? They move smoothly. Even the player running there will feel free slide anyhow. You see that?
Yeah.
But when we play regularly, that player will not slide like that. Because either you got a back pain, or your ankle rack, or you even, you can compare them. You can compare them. You see, even the referee is running straight with no problem. It's easy to manage the rock there, the one we call the running line. It's very easy at this level. And no water sitting there. Anybody can move.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, unlike the dusty field, I may call it, after a period or a round, you will see the referee going to draw and redraw or mark the line.
Yeah.
And yet you see it's just set in for the diamond for
even
the pitcher.
the pitcher line.
The pitcher line.
At the dusty field, you got a hole right there. You always move in the hole, scraping every time, moving the hole. So yeah, they're not just the same, and they can't be the same.
And you want to see something?
I want to see this. And you see the layout here? That is how you should see it on an official kickball pitch.
Okay.
As soon as you enter the field, you see the layout, you know straight, this place is for kickball. Like when you get the turf out, the additional we added for the game, when you get it out, so you enter that place, you know it's for football. Yeah, so that is something we're looking for. And we're looking out to any institution, any individual to help us. We might even name it in your honor as our own way of appreciating you, because we don't have money to pay you back.
Have you been reaching out as much as possible to some of the big companies? You have AML is here, they're in Buchanan, they're in Bonk, and they are in Nimba County. And I understand they've been doing some little support with the Liberia Football Association. Have you been able to reach out as much as possible? You also have Maritime here, NPA, LPRC.
Julia, the issue of bureaucracy in governance is a problem for us. We have tried some of those private entities. We have engaged them. We engaged Orange before. We reach a certain level. We could not see the authority. We have rating different government institutions. Even to see those in authority is a problem for us. It's a challenge. And I can say to anybody, once you give us the audience, we explain to you, you will have reason to support kickball. Kickball is not just a sport. Kickball is one game that can help us to protect the females from the bad hands. Kickball is one game that can help us to give back to society. Those ladies you see there, they are all talented with different skills. And we can't keep them being vulnerable. We can't keep them like that. So let's make them independent. Let's make them professional players. And that is why we introduced a program called Left After Kickball when we took over. We provided left skills for some of them now benefiting from it. We could not continue because of the financial challenge we have. So kickball is not just a game. All of us can work on it and make it look much better for us. And you know, there are groups in Liberia, you hear them on radio, they're working with ladies, they're working with females. They got one group called Women in Sport. We have not seen them one day.
In kickball is the largest women grouping that you think you can get in the sport sector to support.
Seriously. Kickball, I think kickball is the only sport in Liberia that played by female 100%. And we have not seen them one day. They got UN Women. We wrote them over 3 different times. You know, we carry a document, just put it in one lay place. Whoever sees that, that's it. No response, no way to even follow up. So yes, we're being engaging, but bureaucracy has been our problem. We hope that people who follow and listen hear us and give us the opportunity to give them reason why. you should support Liberia traditional game.
Pushing it from that end to the people representative, the people's representative. I'm talking about the lawmakers reaching out. Now, the players are residing or are residents of different districts.
And that's
Have you tried that strategy
a disappointing
as well?
part.
Why is it so?
It's disappointing because when politicians want to get elected, they use polls to bring us together. They use polls to get the vote they want. When they get the vote, they get busy for sport. They get very busy for sport.
What do you mean they get busy? They turn their back on
To see that is difficult. The bureaucracy will increase, in fact, because they feel that they have gotten whatever they wanted. So we need to keep pushing, and we will not stop. For God in heaven's sake, all of the lawmakers understand what kickball is. They will come and celebrate during the county meeting. Their district leagues, they will go and celebrate kickball. But when the budget is at the Capitol building, they give 700. They give less than 1,000. The last time we said to the government, we appreciate the 700 below, but then there are competing priorities. Let government handle them, and later it can increase. This year we got in the budget 5,000. We hope we can get it. We've started writing and appealing for writing and working around getting it. We hope we can get it. When we get it, we inform the public as well.
But the league is winding down now. When, how soon?
No, but the activity is on end. Even when the league is over, we're talking about going Sierra Leone in August. So we're talking about the promotional playoff for the second division, which is at the end of August. You know, there are so many activities ongoing. The federation is too big to be going without a vehicle. Let the Liberia Kickball Federation have a vehicle, LKF. Those are vision we carry. So we need to talk to people. People need to come and help us. We need bus for the clubs. And that is one of the biggest expenses our clubs have. We play in Bassa because we got a first division team coming from Bassa. We play in Margibi. We got 2 first division teams from Margibi. We play in the lower end of Margibi. We got 1 second division team from there. In those times, things will be going there on Saturday. You think if the federation have 1 or 2 buses, they could help the teams. Just buy the fuel or the gas and go. And those same buses will help us to raise money to pay our referees. That's the biggest expense of the Liberia Kickball Federation. So yes, we'll keep talking, we'll keep advocating, we'll keep appealing, we'll keep negotiating until we can get kickball at international level. When we have outside support like other sports, maybe by now we're going far and far.
But it's just exclusive, only Liberia.
Only Liberia. So we're living on sympathy.
This is the Midweek Sports here on Intel Sports, and our guest is Emmanuel Sopras. He's the president of the Liberia Kickball Federation. There's a lot needs to be done to help support Liberia's traditional sports. He spoke about taking it to the region and gradually moving it to international level. But the biggest and the stickiest issue around is sponsorship, support to kickball, because there are talents that are here, but the support for them to maximize that talent and benefit from their own talent is something that is still a big challenge. You're still watching the program as we are winding down, Mr. President. Over here you talk about transporting players. I think Liberia Football Association, some of the clubs too do face similar problem going to Sino, Lofa, and back and forth. But I don't know, can I say on the surface or somewhere, I did hear a negotiation with the LFA and appealing at times to use some of their venues. Is this something official, or you want to share that with us?
Yeah, last season and season before last, we always appeal to the competition committee of the LFA. We talk to the stadium management, and because 90% of the kickball activity is in Pinsville. So we'll also talk to the stadium management for the practice pitch. And at times they will give us the go ahead, and then later the story change. The president of the FA can bear me witness on one occasion. We spoke with him, we spoke with the vice president of administration. They gave us the authority to use the place. We were on the field when they brought different female soccer game to play. I had to call the president back, and he got involved that day. They had to cut or relocate the game of the female soccer for us to use the place. It's good to borrow, but it's better to own. Because when you borrow and the owner wants to use it, you got no reason to stop. You must give it, even if you want to use it. So we know there are too many games in soccer. So we can ask them when it's free, but when they tell us no, it's not free, we can force them. We have to go back to where we have. And that is why we will not stop asking. Even the FA could do us justice or do us a help by just saying, look, we got tough coming in country, we can help you put tough on our place. And you'll be okay.
Have you made that arrangement, that discussion? If you proffered that discussion,
we will appreciate that. You know, Julia, we're discussing Liberia Kickball Federation. Surprise the president. Before surprise came, there have been presidents. After surprise, there will be president. So sometimes, all of the things we don't have to just ask you exactly. You know, when you see the need, you can help Liberia.
No, but you have to reach out to
sometimes, people. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes we go out asking people. You can have the authority. Not because we have not reached you with a particular thing.